Good morning. About to get started out here while it's cool on the deck. Straighten out this flag real quick. You guys know what time it is. I hope you slept well. There she goes. Now, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You remember when you were a kid and just growing up in general, people would tell you, if you do this, you're going to be successful in life. If you eat these healthy foods, you're not going to get sick too much. If you don't eat all this sugar all the time, your teeth aren't going to rot out. If you eat this way, you'll be healthy and you won't be overweight like me. And for the most part, we listened and we were okay. But when we got older, we were just like, screw it. Things happen, you get old, your metabolism slows down, you get different tastes for stuff, beer, etc., etc. Too many Little Debbie cakes at the end of the day. And we knew better. We knew better. We really knew better. But we still chose to do it anyway. We still chose to compromise our health and stuff like that because we're like, we'll live a little. Come on, you only live once. Why not? If people don't accept me, well, that's not my problem. They'll just have to get over it. You remember that? Remember thinking those things and stuff in life and stuff in general? Maybe not every one of you. Some of you have an amazing metabolism no matter what you eat. You don't gain weight and you're super healthy. Me, I'm overweight, but I have the labs of a super healthy person. Well, your car's kind of the same way. People like me can tell you guys until you're blue in the face. If you just change the oil by 5,000 miles on the interstate, or 3 to 4,000 if it's a mix between in-town and interstate driving, you'll never have to worry about any issues with that engine for the most part. Or if you change your coolant every 50,000 miles in your car, or your trans fluid, do a basic service every 30, 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles, whatever, and your differential and your power steering. We tell you guys these things because of what we see failure-wise in the field. And some of you take notice to that. You take heed to that. And then you change your schedule because Papa and Mama is telling you how to live life a little bit better, how to be a little healthier. And you listen. And guess what? All of a sudden you're like, man, this really works. This is going to save me from any problems in the future. Then others, I ain't got to do all that. I'm going to go 10,000 miles. It says this is lifetime trans fluid. I ain't going to do all that. I'm not going to flush that coolant out. Those people that go by what the manufacturer says don't understand that, and I mean this 100% in all sincerity. I cannot say this enough. The reason, 100%, and it's all manufacturers, they have a goal, and the goal is to make money. It doesn't matter if it's Toyota or if it's Ferrari or whoever it is. If you have a vehicle that requires money to make it run, to keep it safe, to keep it clean, to keep it maintenance, whatever it may be, the goal is to get you in that vehicle long enough to get the warranty to expire, and then you either buy another vehicle or spend enough money on repairs to where they're making money. They don't make vehicles like these town cars, like the Grand Marquis, the Police Interceptors, like the old 542 valve and the 462 valve, the Toyota Camrys, the uh, Toyota Corollas and stuff, the old 300 Ford, 5-liter Ford, the 351 Ford. They don't make those vehicles anymore to where you could just basically do whatever and you didn't have to worry about maintenance with those, because they were very forgiving vehicles. They took a lot of abuse. That was the guy that had the fast metabolism. That was the guy that never had the bad labs. That was the guy that no matter what never got sick, because they're just built that way. It doesn't work that way anymore. These vehicles now are so finicky and so touchy about everything that over maintenancing and really doing what you're supposed to do to make sure that vehicle is super healthy, finding a repair facility that you trust that knows how to do the maintenance on your particular vehicle is worth its weight in gold. Understanding that if you really like that vehicle that you have and you're going to keep it long term outside of warranty, disregard that warranty and do better than what the guidelines for that vehicle under warranty says. There's not a single manufacturer that can tell you, oh, you're over maintenancing, I'm going to void your warranty. Bullshit. Doesn't happen like that. There's not a single manufacturer that can tell you, oh, you're doing maintenance too good, you're doing it way too early, I'm going to void your warranty because you're doing it too early. It doesn't work that way. But you'll go into a dealer, especially I hear it a lot about Toyota dealers. You'll go into a Toyota dealer at like 4,000 or 5,000 miles and you'll say, hey, I'm here to change my oil. Well, wait a second. You've only got 5,000 miles on your oil since last time. You can go 10,000. No, change my oil. You heard what I said. I don't care if I'm on a maintenance plan or whatever it is. I'll pay for this one. You pay for the next one. Or you guys give me my next one on the maintenance plan. But change my oil. You heard what I said. Do it, or else I'll find another dealer that will. You have to be that way with these people. You really do. Because sometimes they'll try to talk you straight out of it. Why? Why, when you go to get your vehicle maintenance early, do you have somebody at the dealer trying to talk you out of it? And you're telling them, I want it done, and they still try to fight with you. I've had that happen so many times here on this channel, where people come to me and they're like, the dealer like literally trying to fight with me in the service drive that it's too early to change my oil. No, it's not. Change my oil. You heard what I said. And some people have to get that way with them to say, no, I want it done. I know what happens. My Toyota, I get to 100,000 miles and all of a sudden I start sucking up oil. And then there's no more warranty. There's no extension. And I think back to all the times that I tried to have my oil changed early and you told me it wasn't necessary. It is very necessary. Change it. There's a reason why they do what they do. There's a lot of stuff I haven't told you guys about the dealership life yet. Eventually I'll get into it. I'm waiting for things to settle down because the dealership I came from, they are closing. So we're not there yet. We're not there for the behind the scenes action just quite yet. But that is my talk this morning on maintenance and using some analogy stuff. If you just listen to what I'm saying and you do exactly what I'm saying, you will have that vehicle for a very long time in a very, very healthy condition. So let's just go over it real quick. Oil by 5,000 miles on the interstate. In town, 3,000 miles. Mixed between, 4,000 miles. Trans fluid, I'd say every 40 to 50,000 miles at least, if not better. If you're running a vehicle with a smaller capacity trans, like an Escape or like a front wheel drive SUV or something like that, yeah, about every 40,000 miles I do a trans service. If you have a four-wheel drive unit, like in a pickup truck or something, every 50, 60,000, they don't really get baked by heat or anything like that. But if you have an all-wheel drive unit, and it's not four-wheel drive like a truck, so if you're in an SUV and you have an all-wheel drive unit, every 30,000 max. If you have like an Explorer or an Escape where the PTU is getting baked because it's right next to the engine, right by the trans, the exhaust comes across the top of it, every 20,000, unfortunately. Brake fluid should be every year to 2 years, depends on how bad it is. Coolant every 50-60,000 miles. What else are we forgetting? Power steering every year, 2 years. Do it with your brake fluid. If you still have power steering, a lot of people don't. So we did trans, we did oil, we did full drive, rear diff. The diff unit, every 50-60,000 miles, front and rear diff. So we did engine oil, transmission, brake fluid, power steering, 4x4. So I think we got everything pretty much. That's what I would do. I'd go that route. Cabin air filter once a year, once every other year. I think once every other year is really the way to go, or the max capacity. Once a year might be the best way to do it because of how dirty they get, especially if you live in a very dusty environment or your vehicle's always parked around trees. Engine air filter, about every, same with the cabin air filter, about every year, every 2 years. Just depends on how dirty it is. I'd say max every 2 years, but engine air filter, I'd at least, engine air filter, I'd do it every year just to be safe. Your belt, the engine belt on the car, I've got into a habit of doing mine about every 30,000 miles, just because I don't want the problems. I don't want the smoke. I don't want it. My engine belt. And then some of you also have a separate belt, which is your AC belt. You're running AC all the time in the summer, or maybe if you live in like a very warm climate area, the AC is running almost all year round, which it typically is running all year round, because when you're running defrost and hot in the wintertime, the AC compressor does turn on. So I'd say every 2 years as well for the AC belt. Change it. The PCV, if some of you guys have a serviceable PCV, I would change it probably every 2 to 3 years. I would just change it. Even if it's good, just change it. I'm trying to think what else we have here. That's all I got for right now. But I hope this helps somebody. Anybody. Look at the flag. She flipped back up there again. Come on, girl. Anyway, I love y'all. Catch y'all later. I'm going to go work on the deck for a little while it's cool. Be blessed. Have a great day. Be nice. Don't be mean to people. I had about my video yesterday about woke Ford. I had about probably 30 people unsubscribed from the channel, and then I had about probably 50-60 people take their place. That was funny. It was funny. I'm leaving. I'm unsubscribing. Go. Anyhow, y'all have a great day.